Hello there and welcome back to That Park Place. My name is Vash Sky. I'm going to be your host talking about breaking news. My goodness gracious, I cannot believe it. Last night here around 8 p.m. Eastern, breaking news. YouTube TV and Disney strike new agreement to end the blackout. That's right, folks. Our long nightmare is over. According to Alex Sherman, anyway, by Marvin Montanaro here over there on Geeks and Gamers. YouTube TV and Disney have finally ended their standoff. After nearly a 2-week disruption that frustrated viewers and knocked out some of the most watched channels on the platform, the company has confirmed in a new statement. Here you go from YouTube TV. We're happy to share that we've reached a deal with Disney to bring their content back to YouTube TV. Subscribers should see channels including ABC, ESPN, and FX returning to their service over the course of the day. Thank you for your patience and for being a valued member. An announcement posted Friday evening on X, the official YouTube TV account, stated that Disney-owned networks, including ABC, ESPN, and FX, will begin returning to the platform over the course of the day. For subscribers following the Disney YouTube TV blackout closely, this marks the first real resolution since negotiations stalled at the end of November. Now, people will note that the services actually went dark on October 30th. It is now, at the time of this recording, November 15th. That means it's been a little over 2 weeks since these channels went dark. Now, this is very interesting because you'll remember that the estimates, this from Morgan Stanley analyst right here, this from Reuters, estimate for a 14-day blackout would cost Disney about $60 million in revenue. In fact, it went on just a little over 2 weeks. So assuming that estimate is correct, that's about how much Disney has lost in all of this, although we're still finding out a lot of the details as we are developing right here. It is very, very interesting because Alex Sherman was the one. Let me see if I can get over to this tab right here. CNBC Sport, Disney and YouTube TV stalemate drags on. This November 13th. You can see how fast this actually moved. Now, Alex Sherman actually said, from what I've heard, the sides have moved significantly closer to making a deal with a lot of progress made in the last 24 hours. I can verify the sides were discussing the agreement late into the night, late last night. Again, this was November 13th, so this was Wednesday that this article actually came out. On Thursday, well, that's when the earnings call actually happened. And I do believe that Disney was trying to get this deal done before that earnings call. That was the big rabbit that Iger was going to pull out of his hat. And it's interesting because Iger gives a few quotes during the earnings call to intimate that, yes, we provide great value to those consumers over there on YouTube TV. Our programming is deluxe, exclusive, all these different things. We should be compensated for it, all of that. And now a resolution has been reached, but a day late and a dollar short, as they say, because unfortunately that didn't stop Disney from taking a tremendous hit on the stock price when the numbers were actually revealed. Without that rabbit, that Disney has consistently wanted to show investors every time an earnings call actually pops up. It's very interesting. So what are the terms of this deal? Well, there are some interesting little tidbits that we're going to go ahead and break out here. This from Alex Sherman right now. Google and Disney reached deal to restore ESPN ABC to YouTube TV, obviously November 14th, late Friday here. If we scroll down, it's very interesting. I will say, this was so breaking and people were going so fast that this paragraph right here, Disney's entertainment co-chairs Alan Bergman and Dana Walden, along with ESPN Jimmy Pitaro, said in a statement that the agreement, quote, reflects how audiences choose to watch entertainment. The initial draft of this actually had David Waldman, and I was kind of going with everybody. I was like, well, who's David Waldman? How have we not heard about this person? And obviously it's like, no, it's Dana Walden. Of course. I do apologize, Alex. I got to give it to you. It happens to the best of us for sure. I mean, you can see right here, more than 20 Disney-owned channels were removed from YouTube TV, which offered its subscribers a $20 credit this week due to the dispute. In addition to ABC and ESPN, other networks that were unavailable included FX, Nat Geo, Disney Channel, and Freeform. Now, we have heard from people like Valiant Renegade, for example, that Disney has been pushing for their carriage partners to take on these various channels. I think a lot of these providers want kind of a slim package, right? They don't want all this extra, as well, Valiant Renegade puts it, garbage, right? They only want the sports. They only want things that are the most valuable. But Disney has been very aggressive in pushing these networks out, pushing this content out right here, and forcing these carriage partners to actually take that on. It appears that that happened again here. Now, I actually want to scroll down just a little bit to get to this section right here because I think this is very, very interesting. Disney said that access to a selection of live and on-demand programming from ESPN Unlimited, which includes content from ESPN Plus and new content on its all-inclusive digital service coming later this year, will be available on YouTube TV to base plan subscribers at no additional cost by the end of 2026. Very interesting. And it appears that Alex Sherman actually had clarification on this point because we were all kind of wondering, what is the select programming? We go to Alex Sherman on Twitter, or X now. He says, okay, some clarification. Select doesn't really mean anything. It's the full catalog of ESPN Unlimited. That's very, very interesting because, I mean, ESPN Unlimited, that's their new flagship, right? That's the new, big, new product that Disney is rolling out right here. And apparently, YouTube TV is getting all of that. So we were all kind of wondering what the concession that Disney would make in this deal in order to make this happen. It appears that ESPN Unlimited, this flagship that Disney is highly touted, is in the process of rolling out right here. That's going to be included to YouTube TV subscribers, if I'm reading this correctly here. Examining this deal, it appears that Disney, yeah, they were able to save FX, Nat Geo, Disney Channel, and Freeform, but at what cost? That's the cost. That's all very, very interesting. So let's go ahead and read this letter here by, I guess it is signed by Alan, Dana, and Jimmy, that being Alan Bergman, Dana Walden, and Jimmy Pitaro. Team, we're pleased to share that we've reached a new agreement with YouTube TV, and all of our stations and networks are in the process of being restored to service. While this was a challenging moment, it ultimately led to a strong outcome for both consumers and for our company, with a deal that recognizes the tremendous value of the high-quality entertainment, sports, and news that fans have come to expect from Disney. Over the past few years, we've led the way in creating innovative deals with key partners, each one unique, I would say so, and each designed to recognize the full value of our programming. This new agreement reflects the same creativity and commitment to doing what's best for both our audiences and our business. We're proud of the work that went into this deal and grateful to everyone who helped make it happen, especially Sean Breen and Jimmy Sosowski and the platform distribution team for our tireless commitment throughout this process. Thank you for all your patience and professionalism over the last several weeks. As you all know, the media landscape continues to evolve quickly. Yes, it does, which makes these types of negotiations complex. What hasn't changed is our focus for the viewer. Our priority is and will always be delivering the best experiences and the best value to fans, and we'll continue working closely with our partners to ensure that we are fulfilling that mission for our audiences. We're incredibly optimistic about what's ahead and grateful to all of you for continuing to set the standard for entertainment around the world. Cool boy, this is some big, big updates right here. Big time stuff. I will say, I mean, it has dragged on for, I think, a little bit longer than I think people were initially anticipating. Now we have a resolution. Now it's at the cost of ESPN Unlimited. Disney was able to secure a lot of the channels that they wanted to go ahead and maintain on these platforms and make YouTube pay for, I guess. We don't know the long-term terms, as Marvin points out in this article, about what the price that YouTube TV paid for Disney in order to facilitate all of this. But just looking at the initial details of what's actually going on here, this is a very fascinating development that we had to bring to you. If you do like this content, please go ahead and leave us a comment saying that you do like this content. Like this video if you possibly can. Hey, get the word out. Go ahead, share this video around town. That would be quite lovely, I think. If you've got some high points, use those high points right there. That would help us out tremendously as well. Thank you so much for watching That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.